Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you today to consider a powerful truth that all you seek, all you desire, is already within your reach if only you would stop chasing it and allow it to come to you. The world would have you believe that success is out there, somewhere beyond your grasp, waiting to be caught through endless striving. We are taught to pursue happiness, to run after love, to chase wealth. Yet, in all this pursuit, we lose sight of the one fundamental principle that shapes our reality. What you seek is seeking you, and it is your imagination, not your effort, that draws it to you. You see, every desire is a seed planted in the garden of your imagination. And it is not through struggle that this seed bears fruit, but through your ability to assume its fulfillment here and now. What would your life be like if you stopped running after your dreams and instead lived as though they were already true? What if, instead of chasing, you became the person who naturally experiences those desires? This is the law of assumption, the secret to bringing what you desire into your life effortlessly. You do not have to toil to create a reality where your wish is fulfilled. All you need to do is close your eyes, dwell in the feeling of that wish fulfilled, and trust that it is already done. Let go of the need to chase. Chasing reveals doubt. It tells the universe that you do not yet believe in your own power to create. Instead, rest in the quiet confidence that the moment you desire something, it is already yours. By assuming the feeling of that desire fulfilled, you send out a vibrational signal that aligns all circumstances, events, and people to bring it to pass. Look around you. What are you chasing? What are you pursuing in the outer world that could so easily be found within? Your only task is to dwell in the state of your fulfilled desire. Do not concern yourself with how it will come, for that is not your work. The how belongs to the unseen forces that respond to your inner world. Your job is to remain steadfast in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and let the pieces of life arrange themselves to match it. Life is not a race, it is a divine unfolding. When you rest in the knowing that what you seek is already coming to you, you will stop running in circles. You will stand still in the silence of your being and know that everything you desire is making its way to you. Now I ask you, what if you could stop chasing happiness? What if you could let it come to you by simply assuming that you are already happy? What if, instead of chasing love, you assumed that you were already loved deeply and fully? And what if, instead of chasing after success, you lived in the end seeing yourself already in possession of the life you long for? Stop chasing and start creating within. Let your imagination lead the way and trust that the world outside will conform to the vision you hold within. This is the secret. This is the law. You need not struggle for what is already yours. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and let it come to you. It will, as surely as the sun rises, for your assumption is the bridge that carries you from desire to fulfillment. So be still. Be still and know that it is done. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled means to inhabit the emotional and mental state of having already achieved what you desire, even if there is no outward evidence of it yet. This is the key to unlocking the creative power within you. When you imagine your desire as a present reality, you are shifting your consciousness to the state where that desire already exists. The world around you, though it may not immediately reflect your inner vision, will begin to reorganize itself to match the state you occupy within. Neville Goddard emphasized that your inner world, your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are what shape your external reality. Therefore, if you wish to manifest something, you must not merely think about it or hope for it in the future. You must feel it as if it is already here. This goes beyond wishful thinking or positive affirmations. It is about genuinely becoming the version of yourself who has already received what you desire. For instance, if you desire financial abundance, assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled means you would feel as though you are already wealthy. You would no longer worry about money or act out of lack, because in your inner world you are already living in abundance. You would begin to think and behave in ways consistent with a person who is financially free. It's not about pretending or faking it, but about aligning your inner state with the reality you want to create. By assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you send a clear signal to your subconscious mind and to the universe: this is my reality. The subconscious does not distinguish between what is imagined and what is physically experienced. It accepts whatever you consistently impress upon it as truth. Over time, your outer reality will mold itself to reflect the inner truth you are living. This practice requires faith and persistence. There will be times when the outer world contradicts your inner assumption. You may feel tempted to give in to doubt or revert to old patterns of thinking. But if you remain faithful to the state of the wish fulfilled, continuously returning to that feeling, especially in moments of doubt, you will eventually see the manifestation of your desire in the physical world. You do not need to know how or when it will come to pass. Your job is simply to live in the assumption that it already has. The how will be taken care of by the unseen forces at work behind the scenes. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you bypass the need to control the external circumstances and instead focus on the only thing within your control, your inner state. In this way, you become the creator of your reality, not by force or effort, but by aligning your inner world with the experience of your desire already being fulfilled. When you remain faithful to this state, the outer world will, in time, reflect your inner conviction. Be still and know is a powerful principle that speaks to the essence of faith and trust in the creative process. To be still means to quiet the incessant noise of the mind, the doubts, the worries, the fears, and the need to control every outcome. It is an invitation to step away from the chaos of external circumstances and find refuge in the silence of your own being, where true power resides. In this stillness, you are not trying to force results, but instead allowing the natural flow of life to unfold in your favor. When Neville Goddard speaks of being still, he refers to a state of internal calm and unwavering confidence, even in the face of seeming obstacles or delays. This stillness is not passive, it is a deeply active trust in the unseen forces that are always at work, shaping and molding your reality according to your inner assumptions. These unseen forces, whether you call them the subconscious mind, the divine or universal law, respond not to frantic action or restless worry, but to the quiet certainty that your desire is already being fulfilled. To know is to hold an inner conviction so strong that it is unshaken by what appears in the outer world. This knowing is beyond intellectual understanding. It is a deep intuitive awareness that transcends logic. It means you are certain beyond any doubt that the outcome you desire is already on its way to you, or better yet, that it already exists in a realm beyond your current perception. This knowing is the essence of faith, the kind of faith that moves mountains. In stillness, you tap into a higher state of consciousness where the need to struggle or strive fades away. You cease chasing external validation or looking for signs of progress because you trust that the process is already in motion. The seeds you've planted in your imagination are being nurtured, and it's only a matter of time before they blossom into physical form. By being still, you release resistance, allowing the creative forces to do their work without interference from your conscious mind's doubts or fears. This stillness also requires patience, something that may feel challenging in a world that prizes quick results and immediate gratification. But true creation takes time. Just as a seed requires time to grow beneath the soil before it breaks through the surface, so too does your desire take time to manifest. In the interim, you are called to rest in the knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly, even when there is no visible evidence yet. The greatest creators throughout history have understood this principle, that what truly matters is the conviction held within, not the circumstances surrounding them. Whether you are manifesting health, abundance, love, or success, your task is not to make things happen by force. Instead, your role is to trust in the process and to remain anchored in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, knowing that the unseen forces are aligning everything on your behalf. In stillness, you come into alignment with the flow of life itself. You step back from the need to figure out how things will happen, and you simply rest in the belief that they will. This trust in the unseen is what activates the creative power within you. It is in the moments of quiet faith, when you release the need for control, that you become a magnet for the very things you desire. So be still and know. Trust that your inner conviction, when paired with the stillness of your mind, is enough to bring about the changes you seek. There is no need to rush, no need to push, and no need to worry. In the quiet of your mind and the certainty of your heart, the entire universe is working to fulfill your desire. Desire is the beginning of creation because it represents the first stirring of something deeper within you, a call from the divine, urging you toward expansion and fulfillment. Every genuine desire that arises in your heart is more than just a fleeting wish. It is a communication from the divine source of creation, a signal that you are ready to experience a new reality. Your desires are not random or arbitrary. They are intentional sparks of creative energy placed within you to guide your journey in this world. Neville Goddard taught that your desires are the language through which the divine speaks, directing you toward your highest potential. When you feel the pull of a desire, whether for love, success, freedom, or growth, it is an indication that you are being invited to bring something new into existence. Desire is not something to be dismissed or feared, but rather embraced, for it is the starting point of every act of creation. At its core, desire is a reflection of the creative nature of life itself. Just as the universe continually expands and evolves, so too do we, through our desires, expand our consciousness and experience. When a desire arises within you, it is a sign that you are ready to step into a new state of being, to elevate your understanding of yourself and the world around you. Each desire is a seed waiting to be nurtured by your imagination and belief, and it holds within it the potential to shape your reality. It is important to recognize that desires are not born out of lack or need. They do not arise to remind you of what you do not have, but rather to show you what is possible. They are the divine impulse calling you toward greater expression of life, love, and creativity. When you feel a deep, genuine desire, it is the universe telling you that you are capable of bringing that reality into existence. The desire itself is proof that the thing you seek is already available to you, waiting to be claimed. Your desires also serve as a compass, guiding you toward your purpose. They point you in the direction of your growth and expansion, urging you to move beyond your current limitations. When you honor your desires, you are aligning yourself with the flow of creation. You become an active participant in the divine process of bringing the unseen into the seen, the imagined into the real. Desire is also intimately connected to your imagination, which is the tool through which creation takes place. When a desire arises, it is your imagination that allows you to see, feel, and experience that desire as though it is already fulfilled. Through this process of vivid mental imagery and emotional engagement, you begin to breathe life into your desire, setting in motion the forces that will bring it into physical form. In this way, desire is not just the beginning of creation, it is the bridge between the unseen realm of potential and the physical world of manifestation. By nurturing your desires and giving them life in your imagination, you participate in the divine act of creation, transforming your inner world into your outer experience. Your desires are sacred. They are the whispers of the divine, calling you to create, expand, and evolve. And when you honor them, when you accept that they are meant to be realized, you align yourself with the creative forces of the universe, ready to bring forth a new reality from the depth of your being. Do not chase after the shadows of life speaks to the illusion that fulfillment, success, or happiness exists outside of yourself, in the fleeting, ever-changing external world. The shadows of life represent the distractions, the outward symbols of success or happiness that people often pursue, believing that if they can only obtain them, they will find peace or joy. However, these external things, whether they be material wealth, recognition, or relationships, are mere reflections of an inner state, not the source of it. When you chase after shadows, you are, in effect, giving your power away. You are operating from the belief that something outside of you holds the key to your contentment or fulfillment. This act of chasing reveals a deeper issue, a lack of faith in your own inner creative power. It is the belief that you are somehow incomplete as you are, and that external circumstances must be manipulated or controlled to bring you what you want. But as Neville Goddard teaches, everything you seek in the outer world is already within you, waiting to be realized through your imagination and belief. The true power of creation lies in your consciousness, in the way you perceive and feel about yourself. To chase after the things of the world is to misunderstand the nature of reality. The external world is simply a reflection of your internal state of mind. If you believe that you are lacking, that you must strive and chase to acquire happiness or success, then that belief will be mirrored back to you in the form of struggle and dissatisfaction. On the other hand, when you realize that you already possess everything you need within through your ability to imagine, assume, and believe, you no longer feel the need to chase anything. Instead, you become a conscious creator, drawing the things you desire to you effortlessly. Chasing the shadows of life keeps you in a perpetual state of wanting, of believing that something out there will complete you or bring you what you desire. But no matter how much you accumulate or how hard you pursue these shadows, they will always elude you because they are not the source of fulfillment. The true source of all that you seek lies within your own consciousness. It is your inner state that determines what you attract into your life, not the amount of effort or external chasing you do. To chase after the shadows also means to place your faith in the physical world as the ultimate reality. This is a misunderstanding of how creation works. The outer world is transient and subject to constant change. It is not the cause of your experiences, but the effect. The true cause of your reality is within you, your beliefs, your assumptions, and your imagination. When you realize this, you stop looking outside of yourself for validation or fulfillment. Instead, you turn inward to the source of all creation and begin to craft your reality from within. In this way, the act of chasing reveals a lack of faith not just in the power of your own consciousness, but also in the divine process of creation. When you chase, you are telling the universe that you do not trust that your desires are already in motion, that you do not believe in the unseen forces working behind the scenes to bring your desires into reality. Chasing creates resistance because it is rooted in fear and doubt, the fear that you will not get what you want unless you force it into being. Instead of chasing, you are called to recognize that you are already the source of everything you desire. The love, success, abundance, or peace you seek are not outside of you, they are states of consciousness that you can cultivate within. Once you align with these states internally, the outer world will naturally reflect them back to you without the need for struggle or pursuit. You do not need to run after the shadows of life when you understand that the light is within you. Live in the end is a central principle in Neville Goddard's teachings, emphasizing the importance of mentally and emotionally dwelling in the state of your desire already being fulfilled. It means that instead of focusing on the process, the steps, or the obstacles between you and your goal, you shift your attention entirely to the end result, living in the assumption that it is already yours. In doing so, you align your inner world with the reality you wish to create, and the external world in time will conform to match that inner conviction. To live in the end, you must imagine and feel what it would be like if your desire were already realized. This requires that you let go of thinking about the present limitations or the conditions that suggest your desire is far off. Instead, you mentally transport yourself into the future, into the state of having already achieved what you seek. If you desire success, for instance, you would no longer think about how you will achieve it or what stands in your way. Instead, you would focus on the feeling of already being successful. How would you feel? How would you act? What would your life look like from that point of view? This practice goes beyond mere visualization. It is about adopting the emotional state of your fulfilled desire. Neville Goddard stressed that feeling is the key. The sensation of living in the end is what gives power to the mental picture you hold. When you emotionally feel as though your wish is already accomplished, you impress that state upon your subconscious mind. The subconscious, in turn, accepts this new reality as fact, even if it has not yet manifested in the physical world. Once this impression is made, the creative forces of the universe begin to move in alignment with your inner state, bringing about the conditions necessary for your desire to materialize. Living in the end requires persistence. It is not enough to imagine your wish fulfilled once or twice. You must continually return to that state of consciousness, especially when faced with external circumstances that seem contrary to your desire. The outer world may still reflect the old reality for a time, but you must remain faithful to the feeling of your fulfilled desire. The more you inhabit this mental and emotional state, the more quickly the outer world will shift to reflect your inner assumption. Neville Goddard often spoke of the importance of letting go of the how. When you live in the end, you release the need to control the process or figure out how your desire will come to pass. You trust that by embodying the state of fulfillment, the means will naturally unfold. This can be a challenge, as the human mind often wants to plan, strategize, and anticipate every step. However, living in the end requires a surrender of that need for control. It asks you to trust that once you have aligned with your desire mentally and emotionally, the universe will organize the details in ways you could never have planned or predicted. It is also important to understand that living in the end is not about pretending or faking it in the physical world. You are not required to act outwardly as though your desire is fulfilled when it clearly hasn't manifested yet. Instead, the work is done within by consistently returning to the state of fulfillment in your imagination. It is the internal shift, the quiet yet powerful alignment of your inner state, that initiates the changes in the outer world. This principle of living in the end reflects the law that the inner world precedes the outer world. Reality is created from within, and when you persist in the mental and emotional state of your wish fulfilled, the outer world has no choice but to mirror that inner state. Whether it takes days, weeks, or months, the external world will, without fail, conform to the reality you have been living in your imagination. In this way, living in the end is the ultimate expression of faith. It means acting as though your desire is already accomplished, not because you have proof in the external world, but because you trust in the power of your imagination and the creative forces at play. The more you live in the end, the more you become a vibrational match to the reality you seek, and the more effortlessly it will be drawn to you. Imagination, not effort, creates your reality speaks to the idea that the true source of creation lies not in physical exertion or hard work, but in the visions and beliefs you hold within your mind. In Neville Goddard's teachings, the imagination is the creative force behind everything you experience in life. It is not the amount of effort you put in or how hard you strive to achieve your goals that determines your success. Rather, it is the power of your inner vision and your ability to believe in that vision that shapes the reality you encounter. Imagination is the gateway to all possibilities. When you imagine something vividly, you are planting the seeds of its future manifestation. Your mind, through imagination, is the architect of your life. It can create worlds, experiences, and outcomes that are far beyond what physical effort alone could accomplish. This is because imagination taps into the unseen forces of the universe, the divine creative power that brings thoughts and desires into form. In this way, imagination is the starting point of all creation, whether it's a career, a relationship, or a personal achievement. Effort, on the other hand, is the outer expression of trying to make things happen. Society often promotes the belief that hard work is the key to success, and while action has its place, it is not the root cause of your results. People can work tirelessly for years without achieving their desires if their inner beliefs and imagination are not aligned with their goals. This is because effort without belief is empty. It lacks the creative power needed to bring about true transformation. You could toil endlessly, but if you are imagining failure, struggle, or limitation, that is what you will manifest, regardless of how hard you work. When you focus on your imagination, on seeing and feeling the end result of your desires, you activate the subconscious mind, which responds to images and emotions, not physical effort. The subconscious mind doesn't care how much work you do, it only responds to the state of consciousness you hold. If your inner state is one of success, abundance, and fulfillment, the subconscious will bring forth the circumstances and opportunities that match that inner vision. Imagination allows you to bypass the limitations of the physical world. It transcends time, space, and logic.